I see all this potential, and I see it squandered. God damn it, an entire generation pumping gas, waiting tables, the slaves with white collars. Advertising has us chasing cars and clothes, working jobs we hate so we can buy shit we don't need. We're the middle children of history, man. No purpose or place. We have no great war, no great depression. Our great war is a spiritual war. Our great depression is our lives. We've all been raised on television to believe that one day we'd all be millionaires and movie gods and rock stars, but we won't. We're slowly learning that fact. And we're very, very pissed off.
Every day, because I have a vision, I have my confidence, and I believe in myself. People call it arrogant, I call it confidence. Ignorant people call it arrogant, intelligent people call it confidence.
But have you ever had one where
Since day one.
And then
Since day one.
not being quite that confident?
Never. Since day one, but not only when I came to MLS, since I started to play football, because I believe so much in myself and I have a bulletproof mind, and when I go out there, I know what I'm able to do, and I do it good.
Last question, orange here.
And I do it perfect. Please do not offend me. I don't need to prove nothing, even if I don't score the goals today, and I have a lot of respect for Vela. He's a good player, but you did one mistake, you compare him with me. That was your biggest mistake.
You need to get on it. You need to be in here every day. You're almost out of time. You're 22, you're late. Because I realized I saw a lot of people that didn't have any sense of urgency in their life. And when you don't have a sense of urgency, things aren't going to happen. You need to make things happen, as we already discussed. They're not just going to happen for you. You're not going to become a good fighter unless you make it happen. And you're not going to do anything in life unless you make it happen. So if you feel like right now you're looking around and you're lost or directionless, I would take about 15 minutes and figure out what the hell you want to do with your life, and I would start getting after it. So that's my advice. Take 15 minutes, figure out something that you're into, and go crush that thing and make it happen.
It's pushing the water, and there's a jogger, actually. Look at this. Wow. The Florida man right there for you, Blake, jogging in the hurricane.
I would say the first step is change expectation for appreciation, right? Like the expectations that we have to do whatever it is that we want to do, switch it to, like, it's almost the mindset of, I don't have to, I get to, right? Approach everything with a level of gratitude. Secondly, look at the things that you do and see what you can extract from it. So when you lose it, is it really a loss if I can extract a level of dedication from it? Like when I didn't make it to the NFL, I looked at the process and said, okay, I got to hang up the cleats, but let me extract that mindset. Let me extract that work ethic. Let me extract that dedication and commitment. So now that I can extract that, I can apply it to anything that I want to do in my life and get a chance at success.
This is why most people never get anywhere. Most people are incapable of picking a direction and going.
Just going.
They observe the possibilities. They get paralyzed by all the possibilities. They refuse to move forward on all the possibilities, and then time passes them by. So it's very important that you make a decision and you go down that path. You commit to that path with the mentality of having zero options. I don't have a choice but to see this through. Okay, if I don't see this through, I'm going to be digging ditches. That's what I tell myself. When I don't want to come here and I don't want to do this and I get tired of, doing what I do, which happens to everybody. You go through ups and downs.
Most of the reason that we're afraid to fail is because we're afraid of dying in an abstract reality. We think, oh, we catastrophize. Okay, I'll lose my job, and then no one will like me, and then I won't be able to get a job again, and then I'll be homeless, and then I'll die. Right? Like it's just right. Like that's how we go, right? But when I thought through, I was like, what would actually happen? So if I went there and I failed, what would I do? I was like, well, I'd apply to business school, and I'd have this cool story, and they like entrepreneurs. They're people who tried to do things. Mm-hmm. So this would be fine. This would be okay. And I have plenty of friends who would let me sleep on the couch if I had to. I could go back to mom and dad's house with my tail between my legs, which I felt that was honestly the most horrifying thing that I could imagine, going back home as a failure.
Yes.
Do you think Michael Jordan was just interested in winning championships? You think Kobe Bryant was just interested in basketball? You think Jeff Bezos was just interested in shipping packages? You think Elon Musk is just interested in whatever the hell he's interested in today? Those individuals are obsessed. They are obsessed. In order to be the best, in order to reach that next level, you can no longer be interested. Interested is a hobby. You can be interested in many things. Oh, I'm interested in reading. I'm interested in gardening. I'm interested in cars. You can fall in and out of your interest, but your obsession stays with you all the time. You have to become obsessed.
You gotta look at things and say, like at a certain point, like eliminate the outcome. Stop being driven by rewards. Stop being driven by outcomes. Stop being driven by, if I get this, I'm gonna do this. Just work. And if you don't get what you thought you were gonna get, show up and still go to work. Because along the process, what's more important, what you acquire or who you become?
Yeah, that's big.
And a lot of people think what they acquire is the thing that makes them who they are. No, it's who you become in the process of chasing what you want to acquire, right? Change expectation for appreciation. Extract the lessons and the blessings from the situations that didn't turn out the way you wanted them to turn out. But most importantly, man, approach it and eliminate the outcome, right? Just go for it, work, go to work.
Because sometimes you just got to make shit happen, dude. You got to figure out how to make it happen. And, you know, within the constraints and the boundaries that they give us in society, you know, thinking like a normal person, right? Go to high school, go to college, get the house with the white picket fence, have 2.5 kids, work, you know, your next 70 years and then retire when you're fucking 107, right? Like that's not how entrepreneurs think. Entrepreneurs don't think like that. They don't even buy into what I call the list. The list is what you're supposed to do, what they told you you're supposed to do.
I'm alone and look at me. There's nobody around me. Nobody likes me, man. It is what it is. Sometimes in life, people are not going to be around you to motivate you. They're not going to be around you to push you, to celebrate you, to applaud you. You got to do it on your own. That's what I'm doing right now.
I can always get the job back. So like this is actually a significantly lower risk move than I'm perceiving it to be. I can just I can get the job back. Or I can get another job that's comparable. Right. I have the experience, and me doing all this stuff only makes me more valuable because I'll have a cooler story than somebody who just did 4 years of this job rather than 2 and then did 2 years of things on their own. And so that was the one argument. The secondary argument was, for me, I was young at the time. I was like, this is extremely hard to do. If you say, because I used to always tell people like, yeah, and I'd like to own my own business someday. Like, it's almost like you like tag it on to like, what do you do now? And I'd like to, and so I thought to myself, if it's this hard now, when I have no kids, I have no wife, I have no stakes, it's going to be nearly impossible for me to do later. And so I was like, I have to do it now.
And I seen it myself with my own eyes. When I seen that Bentley at the boxing gym, and I seen that diamond Rolex, I said, I want that. And I knew what it took. So I know when my opponent is asleep, I'm out there at 4 or 5 in the morning, chopping trees, working, to this day. Because I can retire today. I'm well off, very comfortable. But I got the will to win.
I pretend like I have zero options. I say, well, if I don't fucking do this, bro, I'm gonna be digging ditches, so I better show the fuck up and get it done. And that might sound ridiculous to you because that's not the truth anymore, but I still tell myself that, and that's how I operate. So you have to pick something, and then you have to commit to it for as long as that's going to take to make sure that you see it through. And the other thing people do is they pick something, and then when it gets hard, they decide they want to change to one of the other options. And then when that gets hard, they change to one of the other options. And you can't get anywhere with that either. You're going to have to realize that whatever you pick, there's going to be ups, there's going to be downs. There's going to be times when you love it. There's going to be times when you hate it, when you'd rather do anything else but that. But you have to keep going because it takes that long to materialize into success. Now, in terms of what you want to pick, you know, there's a lot of different philosophies on this and a lot of different thought processes.
Interested people watch obsessed people change the world. You think about the technology boom, all the things that happen, with everything that's going on, those individuals were obsessed. They were obsessed. They weren't interested. And you know what obsessed people do? Obsessed people give interested people something to talk about. They give you something to talk about. Everybody who's obsessed in their business, in their field of action, they are the topic of the conversation of the employees at work. They're the water cooler conversations. They're the individuals people are texting about. Because they're so engrossed in your life, with your obsession, with what you're doing, they don't have time for their own. Because they're interested in what's going on with them.
Hard times create hard men. Hard men create soft times. Soft times create soft men. Soft men create hard times. We are now around soft men and hard times.
Yeah.
We're in the time of toxic masculinity, right? Where you could be toxically male.
Yeah.
And then if you're suppressing masculinity, you're going to bring on hard times. Masculinity doesn't mean you're mean.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you're angry. It means strength.
Yes.
It means discipline. It means the ability, like you need a military. And if you don't think you need a military, you need to go and pay attention to the rest of the world, because there's militaries all over the world that are doing horrific things. If you don't have a military in this country that can combat that and at least act as a deterrent to them doing things, you're going to get taken over. That's what's happened.
Failure has been achieved, thank God. Now, the only place to go from failure is to win. You have to achieve failure. You have to take it that far. Nobody wants to go that far. It's too scary. But you know something? I got news for you. That's where winning is. It always has been. Nothing's changed since the 70s. Nothing. Except people train not as hard.
Everybody's full of shit. Nobody knows you or what you're capable of doing. And here's the reality. The hardest thing in life is figuring out who you are and what you want to do for the rest of your life. It's a big decision. I'm very blessed and lucky. I always knew who I was and exactly what I wanted to do. And once you figure that out, you wake up every day and you work toward it. That's what you do. It's impossible for you to fail if you know who you are, what you want to do, and you wake up every day and work toward it.
I'm a man that's gonna honor his contract. When I was with HBO, I honor my contract. When I was with Top Rank, I honor my contract. And these young fighters right here would tell you, I'm a man of my word. If I could tell you, you gotta work with me now. Don't work against me, work with me. If I tell you that I can get you to a certain point, because my thing is this, I teach you how to fish. I don't fish for you. I tell these guys, I can put you in a position to fight for the title, but you have to win the fights. I can't fight for you. I put on my shoes, I put on my clothes like everyone in here. I have good days, I have bad days. I'm only gonna have my bad days in a boxing gym, because I'm an under the lights type fighter. Because when I go under those lights, no matter how I win, I'll win.
Winners win in every environment. Like, I truly do not, you could put Kamala Harris in there tomorrow, I don't give a f***, I'm still gonna get up and go to work. Winners win every day, but losers will pay attention to who the president is and complain and self-check themselves out of a game that they could have won if they would have just got f***ing work. And that's a shame. But do I think it's the people themselves? No, I think that in a macro scenario, these kids were born in the zoo. They don't know how to hunt. They don't know what real work looks like. They've been told their whole life they're enough and that they need to, be pampered to. And that's just not the truth of the world. And as much as I enjoy fulfilling and helping young men, I'm okay with there still being a 1%. Let them be losers. They can work for me and you, bro.
When you push yourself that hard, you sleep easy at night. And it's not because you're physically tired. It's It's not because physically you're worn out that you sleep easy. It's that by going the physical exhaustion, your brain can finally rest, knowing you give it your all. So when you physically push yourself that hard, you sleep easy because your mind's at rest. And you did everything you could to be a champion that day. That's the difference. That's what gives you the strength to get off the ground and do it again.
We talk about the path, and we talk about discipline, and we talk about living clean, but it is not an easy path. It is filled with temptations and pitfalls and hazards and traps. And it's hard to stay on the path. And if you fall off, it can seem even harder to get back on. But you can do it. You got to be honest with yourself. Do not be a slave. Don't be a slave to drugs or booze or emotion or whatever weakness is trying to be your master. Don't allow it. Tell the truth. Call out your own weaknesses, then impose discipline, impose your will, and climb back up onto the path and set yourself free.
Most people, the bottom 80%, are lazy. And it's something that it's not polite to talk about. But most people are lazy, and they're looking for an easy way. They're looking for a shortcut to be successful. And there aren't any. But if you do something repeatedly over and over, you develop a habit. So most people are in the habit of looking for easy ways to get the things they want. And they're surrounded by people who think the same way. You know, as much as 95% of your thinking is determined by the people that you associate with on a regular basis. If you associate with people who don't work hard, don't learn, socialize after work, then you become like them. You think like them, you talk like them, you dress like them, you marry them, and so you're married to someone who also has no ambition.
No more gray decisions in your life. It either serves the man or the woman you want to become, the business you want, the father you want to be, the wife you want to be, the mom you want to be, the leader you want to be, the business you want to have. Your actions either serve and take you towards that version of yourself, or those actions take you away from that. If you get rid of, well, maybe kinda, surfing on my phone a little bit, or doing this a little bit, or binging on Netflix a little bit, or hanging out with those negative people a little bit. No. You wanna go to the next level? You know what it's like to generate the kind of money, impact, and purpose that you know you can and want to? Then there's no gray anymore. It either takes you towards the person you want to be, or it takes you away. Everything else is a no. It's time for you to make a not to-do list. You've had a to-do list your whole life.
How many times has God showed you something in your imagination that you thought was so wonderful? And then you took it in there to your family and your friends, and you shared it with them, and they shot it down. You know why they shot it down? Because they couldn't see it. You know why they didn't see it? Because God ain't show it to them. He showed it to you. God put it in your imagination. He don't put it in other people's imagination. Stop telling your visions to other people, because they're not going to see it. Why you think you keep imagining opening a business? Why you keep imagining graduating, getting a better job? Why do you keep imagining buying a house? Why do you keep imagining driving a really nice car? Why do you keep imagining getting rich one day? Why do you keep imagining that? Because God is talking to you.
When I was a kid, I was wondering kind of what's the meaning of life? Like, why are we here? What's it all about? And I came to the conclusion that what really matters is trying to understand the right questions to ask.
Yeah. If you grind hard, man, I ain't got time to worry about your monkey ass. I ain't got time to worry about you, man. Because tomorrow, I got to go back to the grind. And tomorrow, I go back to the grind again and again and again and again. I don't have time to put you into the hate bank. There's no hate. It's all filtered out, man, through the grind. People don't get it. There's great joy in the grind. Great joy in the suffer. It totally cleanses your body out, man, of any kind of hate. Makes you grow up.
There really are only two macro level motivators that we have in life, and that's pleasure and pain. And so what I want people to understand is, okay, so if nature only gave you two things to motivate you, pleasure and pain, why would you eliminate half of them? And so most people think that life is about avoiding the pain. I'm here to tell you right now, in a very controlled fashion, it is about really experiencing the pain, learning from it. So Ray Dalio, the most successful hedge fund manager of all time, has a perfect math equation. Pain plus reflection equals progress. If you don't feel the pain, you never reflect on it. So my thing is, I spend 80% of my time focused on the beautiful things in my life, the things I'm grateful for, the beautiful things that I want to bring into existence, all of it. 20% of the time though, I'm in the darkness, man. I'm in that Tim Grover, relentless, I'm going to make this happen if I have to break myself, and I'm not afraid to lean into that because I know how powerful it is.
Will, I want to be an actor, man. I want to be an actor just like you. You know, usually people say stuff to me like that. I'm like, yeah, man, you know, you do is give them an encouraging word. But I was just sitting here thinking, and it dawned on me, 99% of people that say stuff like that are not willing to do what it takes to make their dreams come true. The Marines have a saying, everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. And that's just real. At the center of bringing any dream into fruition is self-discipline.
Effort, dedication, work hard, because the talent is not enough anymore. And if you're not dedicated 100%, you're not gonna reach the level that you want. For example, you arrive home, you had a lunch, you do it a quick nap, and you wake up, you play with your kids, blah, blah, and I have to go to the gym at least 30, 40 minutes, but this will make the difference in the end of the day, you understand?
But in the back of my mind, all I'm thinking about is all the times I could have won those matches that I lost by not bringing my best mindset. You're haunted by all the opportunities that you missed by not bringing your best at that time. When you're sitting there getting ready to serve for the match, and your mind is not thinking about where that ball placement needs to be, but it's thinking about your family this, or this at work, or that at work. That's greatness. Greatness is your recall on every single shot that you missed throughout a 20-some year career. Every shot, you can go back and say, I was here. This person was in the red shirt there. Greatness is being so aware of the time of life in the second that went by, and you can recall it like it was yesterday. Greatness is being able to go back there, not making that same mistake again, and being haunted by it.
He created you, and then he even showed you what he got for you. You gotta start believing in your imagination. You gotta start talking to him about these stuff you be seeing. But you have not cause you ask not. So if you see the vision, the imagination, but you don't ask God for it, what you want him to do? He showed it to you. Faith without works is dead. So now you got to put in work. All of y'all sitting in here, you want a better life, correct? Haven't you imagined a better life? Okay, who you think he showed it to? He showed it to you. Why you think he showed it to you? Because he want to give it to you. But if you don't work, if you don't ask him for it, he cannot give it to you because he created us with the power of choice. We make choices every day. If you decide that you will be poor, there's nothing I can do. You're gonna be poor.
Say no more. Number 10, look for the little things. You know, as I was reflecting on what would be the most important life lessons to share, that term, I think I said it earlier, that comes to mind is small hinges swing big doors. And I don't know if I would have caught that in my 20s, maybe not even in my 30s. But what I realize now, it is the little things between the big things that actually move the needle the most in your life. It's the little things that also could stop you in your tracks compared to accelerate you forward. So think about routines. What routines do you have that maybe slow down your progress and they could be adjusted to routines that speed up your progress?
If you change the way you think, you start to attract new people into your life. If you become aggressive about personal development and personal growth, you start to meet other people who think the same way. And the old groups of people that you associated with fall away, and the new group of people appears. So people say, well, where do I find positive people who are thinking about success all the time? First you become one, and then you will naturally attract it.
Champions do daily what everybody do occasionally. Everybody else does. You just do it daily. You're not.
Yeah, we do.
You're not extraordinary. You just do the ordinary extra. That's it. You. That's what makes you, separates you. But it's not for everybody.
Right.
Every day, you come on, you do this phone tap every day, but you just do it a little extra.
Right.
That's it.
Like the entire
Like
show,
I could do a phone tap.
Right.
But I'm not gonna do it every day.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be extra with it.
Right.
I'm not gonna dig deeper.
Right.
Like when that lady's on the phone and she's saying this, you're gonna take her one more step.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's not about the vanity, guys. Everyone's like, how do I get a six-pack? How do I get a six-pack? Always worried about the vanity and how they look in the mirror. No, it's not about that. It's about the functionality. In order to grow a shoulder and a chest and a bicep, in order to grow our legs, if we don't have a strong enough core, we cannot stabilize ourselves in order to lift that load, to put the stress on the other muscles to grow from. So all that work that we go and we build to grow this body we want can go in vain if we don't have a strong enough core to support it. And with a weak core, what happens? You're not in the gym growing, you're in that ambulance, going to the hospital in a backwards progression, recovering instead of growing. Today, I'm gonna show you how to build that core the right way. I'm not gonna sell the sexy abs and everything else. I'm gonna sell functionality to you. I'm gonna sell you a theory that will stand the test of time. That if you put your work into the equation, everything else will grow and you can bear the fruits of that labor.
Work, 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 work. No results, but I'm a little bit better. Work, 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 work. Work, 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 work. No results, but I'm a little bit better. Work, 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 work. No results, I'm a little bit better. Work, boom.
Just got paid.
I just got paid. And it looks like overnight success.
Yeah.
It's like, oh shit, it happened in a year. No, bro, it doesn't. Because if you do all those things, even if nothing happens and you know you're doing the right thing and you're on track, overnight success becomes this easy thing because you were internally growing and then the bubble popped. And then boom, it looks like you were doing it all along. And I think a lot of people, they can't push gratitude down the road. That was something we were taught in the 80s. I feel like 80s, 90s, right?
You mean delaying gratification?
Yeah, delayed gratification. That's a muscle I think that a young man right now doesn't normally have.
You know, something as simple as food and eating is not about your body as much as it is about your mind. It's getting command of your mind to be able to choose actions that are in your own best interest. Every day, we are choosing shit that's not in our own best interest, right? So if the world is attacking you and the world wants to fight you and the world's trying to hold you down, so you're gonna kick yourself in the balls? So you're gonna stop yourself from getting what you dream. Self-discipline is the center of all material success. You cannot win the war against the world if you can't win the war against your own mind.
You can't be weak.
Yeah.
And in this country, being weak is thought of as a virtue.
Yeah.
Jordan Peterson has a really interesting way of looking at this, and he said it to me once, and it made a lot of sense. He said, people think that you should be weak and you should be docile, and then you should be a pacifist. He goes, no, you should be a monster. He said you should be a monster, you should be ruthlessly ambitious, and then learn how to control it. And it's that old expression, it's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war. It's an old expression, but it makes sense. Because it doesn't mean that you can't be kind if you're strong. But it does mean you can't be strong if you're weak. If you're weak, you're fucked. And there's a lot of weak people in this country right now that are trying to take control. And they're gathering up all the other weak people and they say, yeah, let's all be weak together.
And the more society changes, the less important that list is. We're to a point now where even mainstream colleges don't even require, or mainstream jobs don't even require college degrees anymore. See what I'm saying? A lot of them. Things are changing. Yeah. And so being of sound mind and learning how to critically think and learning how to think outside the box to get to the destination that you want to get to is extremely important. And you should have the foresight to do that before you spend all this time dedicated to that thing and then figuring out that you can't get where you want to go.
There are no solutions, only trade-offs. What's that mean to you?
That you're never going to completely solve anything in your life or in the world, and there's always going to be compromises that you have to make. And if you aren't willing to make those compromises, or you don't keep your mind open for those compromises, you're going to run into some real problems. But if you look at it and the fact that you might put a little more effort over here, that's going to take away from some effort over there, you can't just do everything at once. So yeah, no solutions, only trade-offs.
Well, everybody, it's Groundhog's Day again for David Goggins. If you pan it down here, you see it's about 3 o'clock in the morning and there's not a car or a person in sight. If you pan over here, it's the same thing. Not a car or a person in sight. People want to know where I find my strength at, where I get my strength. I get it from a lot of places, but right now, this morning, I'm getting it from, there's not a motherfucker that's up. There's not a car, there's not a person. Everybody's in their bed, sleep, dreading that it's a Monday, hate it's a Monday. And I'm loving it. I'm loving that. Where everybody's getting weaker, I'm getting stronger. It's not about the running, the swimming, the push-ups, the sit-ups. It's about what those things do for your mentality. You don't get better on the daggone couch. You get better by coming out here and getting the f*** after it every daggone day. Stay hard.
Today was a different game. Today was about a rival game. Two teams from the same city, and obviously we need to get this attitude for every game. And last game before this one was very poor. Was poor. Was probably the worst game we did, and today was probably the best game we did. So, but that's what I said in MLS. Every game is like 50-50. You don't know what the outcome will be. There is no favorites. There is no team that you can predict before the game that they will win, and that's the balance that is in the MLS. But yeah, today we win, and we showed that when we want it, we can do it.
It's like we've forgotten who we are, Tom. Explorers, pioneers, not caretakers. Well, we used to look up in the sky and wonder at our place in the stars.
People don't get it. There's great joy in the grind, great joy in the suffer. It totally cleanses your body out, man, of any kind of hate. Makes you grow up.
There really are only two macro level motivators that we have in life, and that's pleasure and pain. I want people to understand is, okay, so if nature only gave you 2 things to motivate you, pleasure and pain, why would you eliminate half of them? And so most people think that life is about avoiding the pain. I'm here to tell you right now, in a very controlled fashion, it is about really experiencing the pain, learning from it. Pain plus reflection equals progress.
I think finding uncomfortable moments and embracing uncomfortable moments are one of the most important things a person can do in terms of understanding themselves and understanding how they think. And if you don't do it, if you just avoid it, you have that uncomfortable moment, you just start boozing, or you take some pills or something and you just avoid it, you're never going to figure out what was going on in the first place that led you down that weird road where now you find yourself crying in the fetal position on your bathroom floor. Like, how'd you get there? Like, are you looking at it, or are you just going to take
And eats motivation for breakfast. You don't need motivation. It's great if it arrives. It's some extra fuel on the fire. But discipline is the thing that you need. What would you tomorrow want you today to do? You tomorrow would want you to keep that promise to yourself.
Make your move before you're ready. I'll tell you where big dreams go to die. They go to the planning place, preparing myself. And it's the biggest con job we work on ourselves. There are so many bones of big dreams in that graveyard where people, there's always going to be a set of reasons to wait.
Regret hurts more than discipline. Because when you're disciplined and you act on the things that you're supposed to do, you won't ever have to look back and say, dang, woulda, coulda, shoulda. So do it now so you don't have to do it later.
You know, the things that you think about all the time, that you don't tell anybody, right? You can do that thing. You actually can achieve it. And you should believe in yourself. You should believe in those things because they're there for a reason. They're not in your mind. They're not in your heart just to be there.
Your biggest enemy is you. People don't understand it's you against you. The only person that gets in your way is you. Nobody else.
I know what darkness looks like. I know what it feels like to be alone with no motivation, no drive, no passion. And what has to come out of your fucking soul in the darkest of times. But if you are able to get up every morning, have no passion, no drive, no motivation, and still get up with that kind of fire, you will be successful in life. I guarantee you that.
How hard are you really working? I don't know about you, but I don't encounter many people who are completely committed to their craft. In our society where it is very unpopular to have a sickening, completely committed, dedicated work ethic, it's not the norm. I believe people who think this way don't know what it's like to push yourself to the limits, don't know what it's like to work your absolute best, give everything you have, sacrifice, commit, work hard, and that feeling of growth, of progress, of even reaching a milestone in your journey. How amazing that feels.
Live your life the way that you want to leave your life. Ladies and gentlemen, as I speak to you right now, if you had 90 days to live, how many of you will make some radical changes in your life?
Great life is in front of you. It's not behind you. What you did back there was learn the lessons to get you to where you are at this particular moment right here. Do you know, man, that you can actually mess your life completely up? You can jack it all the way up and you can turn around and get it right.
Everything that you are, everything that you're becoming is a resilient pad of growth. On that pad is a launch. That's where you take off. That's where you find out what you're really made of. It's not about waiting until the end and one day you'll go after it. Make today day one. Today is the day that I decided I wanted to be great, so I'm going to do it. I decided I want to go after my goals, after my dreams. That's the mindset that you have to have. Because today is the day you were given breath. I'm here with a purpose and live on purpose. Not off of your resume of where you've been, but on the direction and understanding of where you're going. There's a call on you. It's time for you to answer it.
I'm not talented. It was life and death. Either you live or you die. Which one do you want, Tom? That was the decision. In the corporate life and in the gym. But if you want something bad enough, you can't let anybody tell you you can't do something. I'll repeat that. If you want something bad enough, you can't let anybody tell you you can't do something, not even yourself. A lot of days I'm like, oh, you can't do this, Tom. Bullshit! Let me show you. I mean, I would have arguments with myself. I could do it. People doubted me. I doubted myself sometimes too. But you know what? I watched Arnold fall down. Nobody remembers when he fell down. Arnold wasn't the glorified winner as he was in the first 70 through 75. He got up. I'm gonna become a famous film star. He became governor. He kept getting up and getting up. I saw Trump do the same thing. I saw a lot of these guys I admired in business do it. And that's what it takes. To do anything successfully in life, you've got to want it as bad as you want to breathe. And if you want it that bad, if you're willing to give it that much, you get a big piece of what you want. And life and dreams do come true. Anything you want can happen, become a reality. I believe that sincerely, and I'll die on that thought.
If you don't fail, you're not even trying. My wife told me this great expression. To get something you never had, you have to do something you never did. Les Brown's a motivational speaker. He made an analogy about this. He says, imagine you're on your deathbed, and standing around your deathbed are the ghosts representing your unfulfilled potential. The ghost of the ideas you never acted on. The ghost of the talents you didn't use. And they're standing around your bed, angry, disappointed, and upset. They say, we came to you because you could have brought us to life, they say. And now we have to go to the grave together. So I ask you today, how many ghosts are going to be around your bed when your time comes?
The mud consumed each man till there was nothing visible but our heads. The instructors told us we could leave the mud if only 5 men would quit. Only 5 men, just 5 men, and we could get out of the oppressive cold. Looking around the mud flat, it was apparent that some students were about to give up. It was still over 8 hours till the sun came up. 8 more hours of bone-chilling cold. The chattering teeth and the shivering moans of the trainees were so loud, it was hard to hear anything. And then one voice began to echo through the night. One voice raised in song. One voice became 2, and 2 became 3, and before long, everyone in the class was singing. The instructors threatened us with more time in the mud if we kept up the singing, but the singing persisted. And somehow the mud seemed a little warmer, and the wind a little tamer, and the dawn not so far away. If I have learned anything in my time traveling the world, it is the power of hope, the power of one person.
I love this game. I live this game. And there's 1,000 other guys waiting in the wings who are obsessed with this game. Obsession's gonna be talent every time. You got all the talent in the world, but are you obsessed? When you walk on that court, you have to think, I am the best guy out there.
Take yourself out your comfort zone. Do not live in your bubble. Put some more air in your bubble. If you stay in your comfort zone, that's where you will fail. You will fail in your comfort zone. Success is not a comfortable procedure.
Embrace the process. And then by the time you get up in years, you can be a man that you're proud of. Okay? So this is just an encouragement to just chill out. Just chill out. Embrace the process. You say, Dwayne, what process? Life.
He believed in himself, and you can too. You can do anything that you want. You can get singing lessons, get a better job, make more money. You could be even like rich. You could live in the White House someday. You could be president. Do what you want to do. It's not up to other people. It's up to you.
You're always afraid to take the first step because all you see is every negative thing 10 miles down the road. But you can do anything you want. You are bound by nothing. What are you passionate about?
What I want to invite you to do, what I want you to consider is that every single time you go and do something hard, that's the story you've told yourself, that it's easier said than done. You know, it's kind of hard to do that. Well, it's supposed to be fucking hard. Look, if growing stronger and building muscle were fucking easy, you'd have no reason to go to the gym. There would be no growth if there was no challenge.
Failure has been achieved, thank God. Now, the only place to go from failure is to win. You have to achieve failure. You have to take it that far. Nobody wants to go that far. It's too scary. But you know something? I got news for you. That's where winning is. It always has been.
Screamed to me the other night, hey, Will, I want to be an actor, man. I want to be an actor just like you. You know, usually people say stuff to me like that. I'm like, yeah, man, you know, you can do it. Give them an encouraging word. But I was just sitting here thinking, and it dawned on me, 99% of people that say stuff like that are not willing to do what it takes to make their dreams come true. The Marines have a saying, everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. And that's just real. At the center of bringing any dream into fruition is self-reliance. discipline. You know, something as simple as food and eating. It's not about your body as much as it is about your mind. It's getting command of your mind to be able to choose actions that are in your own best interest. Every day we are choosing shit that's not in our own best interest, right? So if the world is attacking you and the world wants to fight you and the world's trying to hold you down, so you're gonna kick yourself in the balls? So you're gonna stop yourself from getting what you dream. Self-discipline is the center of all material success. You cannot win the war against the world if you can't win the war against your own mind.
There has to be something. This is what I'm talking about now, because this isn't a hack. This has to be in you. Something in you has to wake up. And usually the only person that can wake it up is you. Sometimes you can read a David Goggins book, because I was all this shit and then a lot more of up. But if you don't have a little flame, just barely, you're done. I can't light it for you. And that's the harsh reality of this life that I want to get across so fucking bad. You can watch me, you can watch you, you can watch fucking Rogan and Cameron Haynes, all these motherfuckers. You can go to Tony Robbins and fucking bullshit, all this shit. You do all this shit. If you could keep going back and keep spending money and spending money and spending money with no results, you can wonder, wow, maybe let me go try out David Goggins. He ain't gonna fucking help you. You have to examine the insides of yourself. And what do you really want out of life? Your friend and a lot of people out here just don't fucking want it. So guess what? Have fun with your life. When you want to achieve the highest goal of all time, you are going to have to learn how to get your ass kicked all the way up that damn mountain. If I want to be way up here, it's going to take a bunch of small micro failures along the way. But you have to understand that is part of the process.
The most powerful voice you'll ever hear is the one inside your own head, because that voice is often fueled by fear and insecurity. Your mind can remind you of the past. It can criticize you and make you question your self-worth, but you can change that. Don't be afraid to question the stories you create in your head. Focus on what you want, and you'll start to see opportunities where obstacles once were.
Whenever you feel negative or unhappy about anything, you say, wait a minute, I'm responsible. I'm responsible for my life. I'm responsible for what happens. I can't change the past, so I'm not going to spend a second worrying about the past.
Feeling stuck is a signal that you've stopped growing. And when most people feel stuck, they don't understand that it's tied to a fundamental need for growth. We believe it's an existential crisis and we blow up our lives. For most human beings, what actually will get you feeling like you're not stuck is having something in the future that you're looking forward to. Learning anything gets you back in touch with a fundamental need. It makes you start to feel like things are moving. And from that place of feeling a little bit more empowered, you'll be able to make better decisions about what big things need to change in your life.
The darkest place someone can be is standing still. The darkest place someone can be is when they are alive, but they are not living. The darkest place someone can be is when they are no longer making progress.
Everyone talks about the destination, but very few people talk about the journey. That's where the iron is forged. In the monotony of doing the right thing day in and day out, your part of the deal is to keep showing up for yourself, to stick around and see what happens when you really go all in. Don't just settle for mediocrity. Just hold up your end of the bargain and watch how life will turn in your favor.
Consistency is even rarer than talent or enthusiasm. Every January 1st in the gym, you rock up and everyone's keen to do something. They've got these New Year's resolutions. They're all enthusiastic, and some of those people will be talented. But how many of those people end up being consistent long term?
If you look at Nelson Mandela, if you look at Mother Teresa, if you look at Mahatma Gandhi, who died with under
10 possessions. These people were world changers. These people were radical optimists. These people suffered because the root of the word passion means to suffer. They suffered for their dream. They suffered for their values. They suffered for their cause. They suffered for their followers. They suffered for their greatness.
What type of reality are you even living? What type of reality are you living? Are you living a proactive reality where you're continually problem solving and looking at all of the different ways that you could manipulate, guide, or push your reality that you want in your favor? Or are you living a reactive reality where you just continually allow what is going to happen? Well, I can tell you right now, if you live in a reactive reality, you need to stop. Because if you really want to live the life of your dreams, you have got to start living a proactive reality.
Taking responsibility doesn't mean you blame yourself. It means you become accountable for everything that happened. Because it's the only way to improve. It's the only way to see real progress. If you're constantly blaming something else for your circumstances, it means you're giving up the opportunity to be in control. It might not be your fault, but it's your job to make the most of every situation and do the best with what you have. So do it. Take responsibility for all of it, because that's when things start to get good.
You know, you must hope and believe in yourself if you ever want to see what that hope can turn into, that belief can turn into. By doing this every day, repetitively, those are the measures that lead to the big moments of success that everyone sees in life. No one sees the struggle in here. No one sees the hardship, the early mornings you get up. No one sees any of that. They just see if your hand's raised or not. And if it is, oh, what a great guy. Oh, I wish I could be that guy. I wish I could be that guy. But they're not clapping, wishing they could be you at 5 in the morning when you get out of bed, when it's pissing rain outside, to come and train for that hand to be raised. They don't want to be that guy. They just want the glory. And that's the differential of a champion. You know, in adversity, guys, is where you find character.
Failure has been achieved, thank God. Now, the only place to go from failure is to win. You have to achieve failure. You have to take it that far. Nobody wants to go that far. It's too scary. But you know something? I got news for you. That's where winning is. It always has been. Nothing's changed.
I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one can stop me. Lynx is a conqueror. No, I'm Alexander. He's no Alexander. I'm the best ever. There's never been anybody as ruthless. I'm Sonny Liston. I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me. I'm from Nairclaw. There's no one that can match me. My style is impetuous. My defense is impregnable. And I'm just ferocious. I want your heart. I want to eat his children. Praise be to Allah.
Work, 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 work. No results, but I'm a little bit better. Work, 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 work. Work, 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 work. No results, but I'm a little bit better. Work, 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 work. No results, I'm a little bit better. Work. Boom. Just got paid. I just got paid. And it looks like overnight success. Yeah. It's like, oh, shit. It happened in a year. No, bro. It doesn't.
The hardest thing in life is figuring out who you are and what you want to do for the rest of your life. And once you figure that out, you wake up every day and you work toward it. It's impossible for you to fail if you know who you are, what you want to do, and you wake up every day and work toward it.
What if we have that kind of attitude? The car's repossessed. Nobody believes in you. You've lost again and again and again. The lights are cut off, but you're still looking at your dream, reviewing it every day, and say to yourself, it's not over until I win.
Be the guy who embraces the ugly, the miserable. Be the guy who embraces hard work, the grind. Don't be afraid of being hurt. Don't be afraid of sacrificing some blood.
You cannot change your life unless you change something. If you always do what you always did, you'll always get what you always got.
Some of y'all don't want it. That's why you ain't got it. Excuses sound best to the person that's making them up. There's pretty much nothing that you could say that you've went through that I haven't went through, and I'm still here. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. Get off the pity potty. Wake your ass up. Awaken the beast inside. Get in shape. Get off the pity potty.
You need to just keep living. Listen to the pain. It's both history teacher and fortune teller. Pain teaches us who we are, Wade. Sometimes it's so bad we feel like we're dying. But we can't really live till we die a little, can we?
And I'm answering your questions. Every question I'm answering it. I'm with you. But in the back of my mind, all I'm thinking about is all the times I could have won those matches that I lost by not bringing my best mindset. You're haunted by all the opportunities that you missed by not bringing your best at that time when you could have won, but you didn't win because you allowed life to interfere with that one shot. When you're sitting there getting ready to serve for the match and your mind is not thinking about where that ball placement needs to be, but it's thinking about your family this or this at work or that at work. That's greatness. Greatness is your recall on every single shot that you missed throughout a 20-some year career. Every shot, you can go back and say, I was here. This person was in the red shirt there. Greatness is being so aware of the time of life in the second that went by, and you can recall it like it was yesterday. Greatness is being able to go back there, not making that same mistake again, and being haunted by it.
The one thing I would tell them is, and I would tell them to get it tattooed on your arm, and it would say, it's supposed to be fucking hard.
Do you think discipline in and of itself is the root, or do you think discipline within the framework of a direction? Because you had the business, you had the vision for who you wanted to be, you were pointed towards that, and discipline got you there. But if somebody's not pointed anywhere, would you give them different advice?
Yeah, I think I would. I think that if someone has zero plan, zero future planned out for them and ahead of them, they don't need to just implement discipline into their life. They don't need to go out and run 10K a day for 70 days or train twice and drink this much water and do this. I think they need to take the first little step, whether that's trying to figure out what it is that you want to do. What are you actually good at? Everyone's good at something, right? If you can leverage that one thing and make it become your life, eventually it will lead to success. And I'm sure I'm sure everyone can be successful in a field of what they do. I don't know what the timelines are on that. It could be 50 years, it could be 10 years, it could be 1 year. You see singers blow up after 6 months of singing, but you'll see a business person like me blow up after 12 years. Or you'll see a businessman that sells cars and it'll take him 35 years. There's no timeline for it. It's just about taking that first step, whether that first step is reading a book, mental health, going for a run, whatever that thing is, just give it a go. Just try it, see if you can stack it up, and if you enjoy it, keep going at it.
It's a lot easier to sit around and make a list of what you're going to do in the future. What's easier? It's easier to take out a pen and a piece of paper and write things down. And so people will substitute that action for the action that will actually change them and make them better and move them closer to that version of who they know they can become. So let's just be careful. Just be careful. Be careful of getting caught in that planning phase of who you can become. Be careful of that planning phase, because the planning phase should be about 3 seconds long. And then it's time to go get after it.
The reality is when you do things that are easy in life, you don't value them as much. When you do things that are difficult and that require you to dig really deep, then you value them more. It's easy to quit. It's easier to try something that's already been done before. It's harder when you don't know what the end result will be. It's harder when you face the uphill challenge and you deal with it and you face it head on. It's where you build confidence in yourself. That's where you you build your own self-esteem. You know, things are given to you, you never have a sense of how difficult it is to actually earn it.
You get up in the morning, what are you going to do today? I'm going to win today. Well, just by saying that you're going to win today, you ain't going to win today. It's a jungle out there. See, most of us, we come out to compete every single day. The jungle comes to win because the jungle is always prepared.
Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. And most important, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become. Everything else is secondary.
Your current situation is not your final destination. There's more to your life. And I know right now it's hard for you to believe that, but I need you to believe it. Like everything you're currently facing is building you for something greater. You're more than your struggles. You're more than your pain. I know you feel like nobody understands you. Nobody gets you. I know you feel alone and isolated. So I want to tell you, I'm proud of you for not giving up when it's so easy to.
You can't avoid the peaks and valleys in life. They say you can't avoid the peaks and valleys in life. Life will always have the ups and downs, so make peace with it.
Death is not waiting behind that door right now. Every second, you are between life and death. One day, it just stays with this, then this is going to happen. So in the moment where you realize it could be my last action right now that I do, having this type of thought on the mind, it could be your last, hopefully makes you wake up to really focus on the things that are important for you. Because many things are starting to fall away when somebody tells you, look, you only have 1 more week to live. Many problems that at the moment people are caring about, they will just disappear. Then they wake up and realize this shortness of life, how precious it actually is that we are able to be here.
Game of life are people are going to hit you, they're going to claw you, they're going to scratch you, they're going to bite you. It's just the part of life. And instead of taking everything personally, you have to see that it's like a gladiator battle and that some people are bad, some people are good, some people are not, are in between. But stop taking everything personally and try to learn from it. So if you make a mistake, what you want to do, if you have failure in life, something didn't go right, you want to have the ability to look inward and say, what did I do wrong? And a lot of people don't have that inner strength. But if you want to be successful, if you want to get ahead in this world, you have to develop the skill. You have to be able to look at yourself as if you were somebody else, as if from the outside, and say, here's how I could improve. Here's what I did wrong the last time I did it.
So if you're in the woods and you don't know where to go, start walking. You got to start walking because the perspective's not going to change. You have to start moving forward. You have to start taking steps in order to improve your vision, improve your perspective, change your perspective, make some kind of progress. And worst case scenario, you figure out that you walked the wrong direction. Okay, now you can go walk in the other direction. And that's going to be fine. But standing there lost and not doing anything is just waiting to die, waiting to starve to death. Don't let that happen.
You know, there comes a day, man. Everyone's gonna have this day. There comes a day where being average, being mediocre is just sickening to you. It's just sickening. It makes you want to throw up. Because you've seen people with far less talent than you. As you're growing up with them, their childhood buddies, whatever else, they didn't have what you had. Yet now they're become something that you haven't. There comes that day. It's either when you're young, you know, and it strikes you on the baseball field because you're sick of striking out, or it's when you get fired from your 5th job, you know, and your wife and kids are on your ass because you don't know how to support them anymore. There comes a day where push comes to shove, where being mediocre, being like average and shit just burns. It sucks so much. You can't deal with it one more day, and you get off your ass and you create something that's always been there. It's always been inside of you trying to come out, but you've never wanted to unwrap it because it's too much pain and commitment. You were scared you were going to fail. You were scared if you started, you never finish it. You didn't want to tell anyone about it. You knew it was there, but you never wanted to embark on it until something hits. You get fired or somebody else gets success, remind you of what you could have been. And then the fucking spark is born. And no matter what happens, I'm never going to be in this boat again. And you get up and you go, even if it gets knocked down, you just keep going. You're a wild man. And life has never been so sweet. It's time to unwrap the potential you can be. It's within you. It's within every single one of us. And the people that have risen to that level were no different than any one of us. It's just they believed it and they were willing to work their ass off to get it. It wasn't about the potential. It wasn't about the genetics. It wasn't about the perseverance. And it wasn't about being the hardest worker in the room. That's what got them there. And it didn't happen overnight.
Hard times create hard men. Hard men create soft times. Soft times create soft men. Soft men create hard times.
Damn, Ron, come on! What's the matter with you?
Tomorrow. Let's do it tomorrow.
There is no tomorrow! There is no tomorrow!
You have to learn how to fail. A lot of us have big dreams, big goals. And when you have goals that are maybe outside your reach, you have to know that getting to that goal, you're gonna have a lot of bad days. So I had to teach myself how to fail right. And what that means is, when I fail, I can't spend much time in that fail zone. I have to be able to get up and get after the next day just as fast. I don't have time to stay here and feel bad for myself for weeks and months and years, because I'll lose that time. The truth in front of you is it sucks. It's painful. It's fucking mind-numbing. Because this is what it takes, creating another voice and sometimes going at it alone. All the time going at it alone, because no one's gonna believe in you. And that's that.
When I seen that Bentley at the boxing gym, and I seen that diamond Rolex, I said, I want that. And I knew what it took. So I know when my opponent is asleep, I'm out there at 4 or 5 in the morning, chopping trees, working, to this day. Because I can retire today. I'm well off, very comfortable. But I got the will to win.
The heaviest things in life aren't iron and gold, but unmade decisions. The reason you are stressed is that you have decisions to make and you're not making them.